We want to also at this time celebrate the majors on their retirement. Just as we have grown to love and appreciate the Brewers, we've also come to love and appreciate this couple. If my figures are right, they pastored for 43 years in the conference. Is that correct, brother? All right. 11 years they spent at Tonawanda, New York. How many remembers that one? That's been a while. 1 year at Haverhill, Massachusetts. 13 years were given to Grand Gorge, New York. And the last 18 years to Brushton, New York. Brother, Sister Major, I still remember that night, driving up to Burlington that day to be with the Majors and Brother Major's surgery. We chatted and laughed the night before. How little did we know what would transpire within 24 hours. As we sat there talked, we thought the surgery would go smoothly, and that he would be coming home in a short amount of time, and everything would be fine, but it didn't go as planned. Remember the surgeon coming out and giving us the bad news that Brother Major was critical. My wife and I chose to spend the night with the family in the waiting room, and it was around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning that the nurse asked the family to return back to the room and wanted me to accompany them as well, and I knew then it was serious. Brother Larry was bleeding internally, and they could not find it. As fast as they put the blood in, the blood went out. They were pumping it out. They had to take him back to surgery if they were going to save him. We left him, the surgeon taking him out. We went to the waiting room and we prayed. It was Sister Tanya. We prayed that God would help that surgeon find the leak. And she did. She said, normally we can't find him the second time, but we did. It was God. However, the trauma to his body and the long recovery took a toll on Brother Major. Through the circumstances that followed his release and return to the pastor, Brother and Sister Majors felt that they needed to retire. Again, I didn't want them to retire. God worked it out for them to find a home down around Thomasville, North Carolina. And they will be moving there later this month. We've asked Brother Whitney if he would come and share just briefly some memories that he has. And then we're going to, at the end of that, Brother, Sister Major, if you would come to the front, we would like to honor you.
Brother Major, as we said, was my pastor for 1 year when he was in Haverhill. And for me, that was a key moment in my life. And he made a big difference in that. I was around 19 or 20 at the time. And that is an age in a young person's life when you go from being in the wake of your parents to starting to have to make your own path, starting to have to set your own course. I graduated high school. I believe I graduated tech school at that point, or pretty close to it. And I was trying, where do I go? What do I do? How do I, whatever, the path to go. I knew I wanted to go to Bible school for a year, and my parents supported me in that, and I had a Bible school picked out I was going to go to. And he went and talked to my mother. And after he finished talking to my mother, she came to me and she said, if you go to that school, you're going to have to figure out how to pay for it. If you go to Penn View, we'll pay for it. And I thank the Lord you did that, brother. It made an incredible difference in my life. I can't say that the other school would have not done that, but I know that I've made good friends there. A number of people here that I went to school with, and that established some things in my life, the teachers that were there. And I met my wife there. I wouldn't have met her at another school. I don't know if I would have met her at all. The Lord even had to work that one out. At the time, though, I didn't know my wife, other than she was another student there, and actually I was dating another girl at the time. And I was very much like, well, I should go to Bible school, but I really thought we'd get married. And I remember him talking to me and giving me some great advice. I remember you told me about, I think you were a student at Penview, and you'd seen a car that you wanted to get. And I don't know, maybe there was something that maybe you couldn't have stayed in school if you got in the car, financing. I'm not sure what it was, but you said you prayed about it and you waited. And you were able to get the car, and it was a good car. But it was the idea of waiting and praying about it, and that made an impact on my life. And I can't say I did everything 100% perfectly correct, but your advice really helped with that. And, seeing you as a pastor, your family all together, that made an impact in my life. And, I will say when I went to Penview, I did spend a lot of time in prayer and fasting. One of the things I prayed about was a wife. And it was actually like a whole year later, I went back, I wasn't a student, and I ended up going to somebody's house as an uninvited dinner guest, and that's how we met. I really think it was the Lord. But just the things that you told about waiting and praying, and my sister, friends with your daughters, and the impact it made in just a short time. God works that way in our lives, and you did that in my life, and I thank the Lord for that, and my family as well. The example you set as a pastor, and we saw things that happened. We knew that it wasn't all good. It wasn't all happy memories. But God was faithful, and you've been faithful. And the final thought I had was, Paul, in his letters to Timothy, he calls Timothy his spiritual son. And I can think of a number of people, but you're one of the spiritual fathers in my life. And I thank the Lord for your ministry and your work that you put into it. God bless you.
Go ahead, give him.
Poor Brother Owens, I'm giving him a run for the money using all these different microphones. We want to present Brother and Sister Major with this plaque for the 43 years of service to our conference. Just like the words you've done it as a team. We will greatly miss you as conference pastors. Now, I hope everybody understands how I'm saying that. They're leaving as conference pastors. They're retiring. They're not leaving the conference. I let them retire. They tried to leave the conference. We may be having a funeral. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. But we will greatly miss you. We love and appreciate you very much. And we want to give this bouquet of flowers to Sister Major for standing by her husband. Brother Major, thank you for the years that you did. I'm going to turn her face there and want some pictures here. I know I'm good looking, but not bad. All right. Thank you very much.
I'd like to just take a moment to thank you for who you are and what you have been, especially this last year, the cards of support, and donations and prayers. And like Brother Whitaker said, they came out and told my wife, it's not going to make it through the night. Our hands were off. They admit that it was God. God has a purpose, and I'm trying to fulfill that purpose up till now. I don't know what it has from here on out. But I'm still here, so you must have something for me to do from here on out, too. But I love you, appreciate you, thank you so much.
Amen. Amen. My wife and I, and I'm going to say predominantly my wife, all right, felt like that those ministers retiring should be honored specially. I don't know what was done in the past, so we're coming in brand spanking new doing.